Hello and good morning. Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to video 2 of 5 out of the series How the Physical Energy that we exert or neglect to exert affects everything in our lives. Today we're going to be talking about why the problem or why the lack of movement perpetuates. Okay? Stay tuned. Great video, great content. I hope you enjoy. And I'll talk to you soon. I am enjoying a little bit of Costa Rican coffee while I record to you. Deliciousness that it is. So last week we started talking about how our physical energy that we exert or neglect to exert affects everything else in our lives. From how we wake up in the morning to the attitude that we carry with us throughout the day, to our eating habits, to every other facet that we have in our lives, every other facet of care that we put into our lives and our bodies, to our presence, how we show up in our relationships that matter most to us, and more. So last week we talked about the problem, what it is and what it feels like, drudgery, right? This week we're going to talk about a little bit more of why that spiral perpetuates, why we know what it is that we need to do, but still don't do it. So what happens? Quick recap. We were talking about John Smith. Pretend I'm John Smith again. And there's this undertone of guilt and shame that I know that I can do better, right? I know that I should be doing better. I know that I can be doing better. I even know some of the things that I should be doing better. I should be getting to bed early and, setting my alarm a little bit earlier in the morning, getting out, even if it's just going for a walk, something simple, going to the gym, eating healthy, all of those things, right? I know the basics. I know kind of like where I want to be aiming for. But what happens? Now we're dealing with this guilt and shame and bad feelings all around, like the fact that we didn't follow through on what we said that we wanted to do, the goals that we have envisioned in our mind, that we want to see created in our lives, a greater level of fitness, a greater level of wellness, feeling better. But where's the follow through? So we now are dealing with this, and when I say we, I mean I, John Smith. And I've been here too. Like, I share this from my experience. The reason why I am sharing this is because I've been there and I've grown through it and I've developed systems around it to be able to not only snap myself out of, any habit. Let's say, for instance, it's creating these videos. This can be taken into any realm, but I'm specifically honing in on that physical element where if you're not getting up in the morning and doing something or having some sort of a plan, it doesn't have to be a morning. If you're absolutely against mornings, I understand. I don't understand. I know that people exist like that. It's cool. You have to find what works for you. And we'll get more into that solution in the next video, which will be next Monday. So stay tuned. But so this spiral perpetuating. Now we're now experiencing, got up in the morning, late, grabbing something quick to eat, and running out the door, getting into traffic, just trying to get into work, stressed, right? In this place of unrest, uneasiness, uncomfortableness, and having a lack of focus that we're recognizing throughout the day, feeling kind of overwhelmed by everything that is on our plate, all the things that we need to do, be it work, be it family things, be it things around the house, be it just wanting to have a little bit more of a social life and feel better and do maybe that hobby that we've really wanted to pick up, but we just can't seem to have the energy for. So my question for today is, has guilt or shame ever produced lasting positive change in our lives, right? Has there ever been a point where that has created something sustainable? Yes, we can make ourselves do something in the moment we feel bad, but is our heart in it? Is my big question. And is that something that is sustainable? And in terms of talking about physical movement, physical activity, eating healthier, taking better care of ourselves, I'm looking for sustainable life changes. I'm looking for, hey, in a year, you're looking back and saying, wow, like life is totally different and I'm loving it. That's what I'm looking for, because this physical element, mastering it and moving more, will affect all the other areas of life. So, has guilt or shame ever produced lasting positive change in your life? There are things that I want to change, John Smith, that I just can't seem to. I'll start tomorrow. I got to the end of the day. I'm really tired. I'm eating my chicken salad from Wendy's that I picked up on the way home because I was tired. And I'm sitting in front of the TV. I'm getting to bed late. I'm just tired. I'll start tomorrow. I'll start again tomorrow. That's what I'll do. And it's this endless cycle. I don't have a concrete, accomplishable plan. I tried to do everything at once. January 1st came. I tried to do everything at once. I said, all right, I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. I'm going to have my healthy breakfast made. I'm going to get to work, and it's going to be an awesome day. I'm going to get lots done. I'm going to get the short-term projects done, and the long-term projects are going to get worked on, like all of those things. Life's going to be amazing. A lot of times we get this idealistic thought about the beginning of the year, right? It's February now. How's it going? That's a big question. You know, the new year gives us this burst of energy to start fresh, but then what happens? You know, how are you doing on the goals that you set forth for yourself for 2017? Because now we're 1 month into it. That's 1/12 of the way. Okay? So, sorry, mandatory coffee. Motivation has a tendency to dwindle over the course of, especially that first month. And especially if we put all of our energy in at once to change everything, right? So I don't mean to continue dwelling on the negativity, on the negative part. I don't think that that's where the solution lies, but I think that it's important to recognize it and to identify it, to talk about it, to nail it down, look it in the face and say, all right, I'm going to change you and I'm going to figure it out. And that's where I want you to get if you're in this place. That's where, for me, whenever I finally, I was in that cycle, I said, all right, something has to change and I'm going to do it. And again, next week I'm going to talk about the solution and putting together practical steps and plans for getting you on that track. Okay? It doesn't have to be all at once. In fact, it shouldn't all be at once. It should be a progression. Okay? So next Monday we'll start. We'll talk about the solution and where to start. I'm going to give practical solutions that you can implement today. Well, next Monday, to get you started. And again, looking back in 1 year and saying like, wow, life is totally different. Like that was enjoyable and I love it. I love it. So best of all, you're going to do it. So don't be a victim to the negative spiral anymore. Tune in next Monday. Begin your transformation. Have an amazing day. One last thing. Quick recap. 2 questions for you. Okay? Number 1, how are you doing on your 2017 goals? Are you making progress towards them? How do you feel about them? And number 2, has that negative cycle of guilt and shame ever produced positive, lasting change and results towards your goals? Ponder these, think on them, chew on them, do some self-introspection, Tune in next Monday. We'll go through some practical steps that you can take towards your goals and getting there. And go win your Monday.